Now then, people, good afternoon and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. Forgive the energy, I'm a little bit under the weather. Probably all that hard work we put in August. I'm loaded up on cold and flu tablets, but we move. Today's video, we're going to be talking about Leonard Ngenge, new Wunder Kid. I love saying that word. Left back, linked to Leeds United, currently training with Leeds United. So on the other side of this video, we're going to be getting into that. But before we do, please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit that notification bell. You'll be happy to know the content doesn't stop. I'm going to try and get a live stream out every day covering certain topics. Tonight, we're going to be live with Benjamin Bloom at 8 o'clock, just for a bit of a championship check-in to see how he feels the season started, how Leeds United are looking, and who are our main rivals for them top two spots. But without further ado, let's get into this video. So, folks, I know the transfer window's shut, but Leeds business doesn't stop. We are still working on that. Leeds United are looking to make another signing after the transfer deadline day with Nigerian star Leonard Ngenge. I'm assuming that's how you say it. I went on pronunciation.com and this is what they give me. So, yeah. Forgive me for any Nigerians watching this or those of African descent that can say his name properly and are probably laughing at me, but I believe it is Leonard Ngenge. So he's reportedly in talks with Leeds United. This is according to Alan Nixon. There have been some clips as well showing training of the under-21s where people are saying, I think that's him, so I do think it does have weight. We are looking to strike an agreement with his side, Ikorodu City, who are in the Nigerian Pro League. He's attracting interest from a hell of a lot of clubs, but had a trial with Leeds United in the not too distant past, and obviously Leeds United are well on board with that and fancy the move. Now, it is important, we must note, that any agreement would be a future transfer only, because FIFA rules state that players cannot make the move abroad until they are 18. And then Ngenge is still only 16 years of age. What I find quite illuminating by this, and hot tip to my man Lockie, and Joe mentioned it and the chat mentioned it as well, this has the smatterings of Red Bull all over it. They have a real good working knowledge of the African market. We've seen many good players come through Red Bull of African descent that players wouldn't have been aware of prior to their move to the Red Bull network. Like, no cap, they have a great track record with this. Several notable African players have developed their careers through Red Bull. Here is like just a few of the names. Sadio Mane being one. The Senegalese forward spent 2 seasons at Salzburg before he then moved to Southampton and went to Liverpool, and we know how great he was in the Premier League. Naby Keita, another. I think he's a Guinean midfielder, also played for Salzburg before then moving to Leipzig and then Liverpool. Yes, his time in the Premier League didn't go as planned, but still a top player. Patson Daka as well, Zambian striker, made his name at Red Bull Salzburg, and again, prolific goal scorer during that time, and then later moved on to the Premier League. There's been many players that have come through their setup, so Leeds United are right to be excited about this player, especially if indeed it does have connections to that Red Bull. We are just making a snap judgment, a guess at that, but if, you know, I've just not known Leeds United be moving in these sort of waters previously. Now Red Bull are involved. Makes you think that could be the case. Obviously, we have that big contingent of players and people at the top of the club that are making these decisions. Steinson, Miles, Hammond, etc. But he is only 16 years of age, for one for the future as well. Now, Nixon has come out and said a pre-contract agreement and contract to sign at Leeds United is already done. So hopefully that's watertight. We've been pursuing a deal for him after a successful trial. So definitely one to watch. Now, as I said previously, before coming and training with Leeds United, he was at Ikorodu City in the Nigerian Professional League, and during that time has shown some impressive skills, especially and notably in the Value Jet Cup in 2024. He got the team of the tournament with some notable key stats. He won 7 out of 9 aerial duels, 18 interceptions, and completed 17 out of 20 progressive passes during that tournament. A lot of other clubs were looking at him, one of them a notable side by the name of Hammarby, who Leeds United have looked to for players in the past as well, of course. So they also have a keen working knowledge of the African market. And they were keen on acquiring his services, but if you can get a move straight to English football, I can see why. And Ngenge is definitely looking to do that. Now, he's known for his dynamic and versatile playing style as a left-back. Great defensively. Aerial ability, as I mentioned earlier, won a lot of his aerial duels whilst playing over in Nigeria. Progressive passing is a key notable skill of his, a key notable attribute. He's got great stamina and work rate, and he's a great crosser and dribbler of the ball as well. So he's got a real blend of solid defensive skills and offensive contributions as well, making him a well-rounded left-back. Now, of course, you have to take anything like this with a pinch of salt, because a player... We've had many names that have been tipped to be wunderkids, and then when they hit the big time, not quite make it. But it's nice and positive to see Leeds United getting a head start on players like this that could potentially make the grade. It's also important, even from a financial perspective, in terms of PSR, FFP. We know, unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbles in today's football. But it would be nice to have a left-back as well at the football club that we can future-proof, because Leeds United for 4 or 5 seasons now haven't had a left-back on our books, even in the youth setup when we'd let go of Leif Davis, and we know how that worked out. I mean, that guy's a Premier League footballer now and we're in the Championship. But it's been a position for Leeds United that we've struggled to acquire. And now if we look at it, hot tip to the future, you've got Firpo 1 year left on his deal. Will he get a new one? I think if we stay in the Championship, he won't want to stay, but in the Premier League, you could give him another 2 years potentially. You've got Schmidt, who I know has been playing at right back this season, but is more notorious for being a left back. Played there the majority of the season. And then if you then have Ngenge as well waiting in the wings, I know 16 seems young, but by the time he's signed that pro contract, he'll be 18. He might be ready to go. He might be ready to go at Leeds United, having worked within the setup. So this one is exciting, and an exciting one for the future, sure. And of course, I'm sure we'll hear more about him. There'll be those that watch the under-21s that will see him on a more regular basis, that will be able to, let us know, probably on the socials and stuff, just how well he's doing, because Leeds United do have some very good academy graduates coming through. Luca Thomas is smashing goals in at the minute. We've got a fair few decent keepers that are on the way through as well. Darrell Ombang being one of them. We all know about Harry Gray as well. So it's exciting times for Leeds United, and I hope under the tutelage of the 49ers, Red Bull's involvement as well, that we can really start to see the fruits of our labour when it comes to producing top talents at this football club. They're getting things right in terms of transfer dealings, buying players at decent prices, and if we can mirror that in the youth setup by bringing in young players, then you can either blood in your first team and sell for big money. I mean, as much as we hate Chelsea and as much as we bemoan the way that they're going about it, they're still getting about it and still adhering to the rules somehow, but they're bringing in players and then selling them for double the profit a year later, and they've barely even played, or if at all. So it's a bit of a madness, really. One to watch for sure, Leonard Ngenge. Remember the name, okay? Nigerian wunderkid playing at Leeds United. And don't forget as well, 8 o'clock tonight, myself and Benjamin Bloom will be discussing the Championship start to the season. I hope to see you there. Peace out now. Love you all. Leeds is Leeds.